Hello everyone, welcome you all. Today our topic of discussion is committees and commissions appointed by both union and states government to review center-state relations in India. From independence to till 1967, the center-state relations were very smooth because one-party rule of Congress at the center and in most of the states. In 1967 elections, the Congress party was defeated in many states and its position at the center became weak. This situation changed the political scenario and created a new era of center-state relations in India. With this, there is also emergence of many non-Congress government in many states. They oppose the increasing centralization and intervention of the central government. They demand state autonomy, more powers and financial resources for the states. This creates tensions and conflicts between center and state. The major areas of tensions and conflicts are mode of appointment and dismissal of governor, imposition of president's rule for political gain of union government, reservation of state bills for the consideration of the president, management of all India services like IAS, IPS and IFS, sharing of finances between center and states, deployment of central forces in the states. So demand for reforms in center-state relations was made by states like West Bengal, Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Maharashtra, Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. For reforms in center-state relations, both the union and state government appoints many committees and commissions. The commissions are Administrative Reforms Commission, Rajmannar Committee, Anandpur Sahib Resolution, West Bengal Memorandum, Sarkaria Commission, Punchhi Commission. Let's discuss one by one. First is Administrative Reforms Commission. In 1966, the central government appointed a 6-member Administrative Reforms Commission or ARC under the chairmanship of Morarji Desai and followed by K. Hanumantaya. In order to examine the various issues in center-state relations, the ARC constituted a study team under M.C. Talwad. On the basis of the report of this study team, the ARC submitted it to the Union government in 1969. It made 22 recommendations for improving the center-state relations. Important recommendations are: first is establishment of an interstate council under Article 263 of the Constitution of India. Second is delegation of powers to the maximum extent to the states. Next recommendation is transfer of more financial resources to the states to reduce their dependency upon the center. Fourth is deployment of central armed forces in the states. Their request. No action was taken by the central government on the recommendations of the ARC except establishment of an interstate council. Next committee is Rajmannar Committee. In 1969, the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam of Tamil Nadu appointed a 3-member committee under the chairmanship of Dr. P.V. Rajmannar to examine the entire question of center-state relations. The committee submitted its report to the Tamil Nadu government in 1971. The important recommendations are: first, an interstate council must set up immediately. Second is Finance Commission should be made a permanent body. Third, the Articles 356, 357 and 365 dealing with President's rule should be totally omitted from Constitution. Fourth is the residuary powers should be allocated to the states. Fifth recommendation is all India services like IAS, IPS and IFS should be abolished. But the central government completely ignored the recommendations of this committee. Next committee on center-state relations is Anandpur Sahib Resolution. In 1973, the Akali Dal of Punjab adopted a resolution regarding political and religious demands at Anandpur Sahib. The resolution demanded that the center's jurisdiction should be restricted only to defense, foreign affairs, communications, and currency. The entire residuary powers should be vested in the states. It opines that constitution should be made federal in the real sense and should ensure equal authority and representation to all the states at the center. Fourth is West Bengal Memorandum. In the year 1977, the West Bengal government made a memorandum on center-state relations and sent to the central government. The major suggestions of this memorandum are: First is, the word union in the constitution should be replaced by the word federal. Second is the area of jurisdiction of the center should be limited to defense, foreign affairs, currency, communications and economic coordination. Third recommendation is residuary powers should be given to states. Fourth is Articles 356 and 357 related to President's rule, and Article 360 is financial emergency should be deleted. Next recommendation is Rajya Sabha should have equal powers with that of the Lok Sabha. Next is of the total revenue raised by the center 75% given to the state for their development. Another recommendation is all India service should be abolished, but that the central government did not accept any of the demands made in the West Bengal Memorandum. Another important commission appointed by Union government on center-state relations is Sarkaria Commission. In 1983, the Union government appointed a 3-member commission on center-state relations, under the chairmanship of R.S. Sarkaria, a retired judge of Supreme Court of India. The commission appointed by Indira Gandhi government to review the existing center-state relations in all aspects and suggest recommendation for betterment of center-state relations. The commission goes for functional changes rather any structural changes. It observed that rule of federal supremacy is a technique to avoid absurdity, resolve conflict and ensure harmony between the union and state laws. If this principle of union supremacy is excluded, it is not difficult to imagine its deleterious results. There will be every possibility of our two-tier political system being stultified by interference, strife, legal chaos and confusion. The Commission made 247 recommendations. The important recommendations are: first, a permanent interstate council or the intergovernmental council should be established under Article 263. Second, the Article 356 related to President's rule should be used as a last resort when all the available alternatives fail. Third, the institution of All India services should be further strengthened and some new such services should be created. Fourth, the residuary powers of taxation should continue to remain with the Parliament while the other residuary powers should be placed in the concurrent list. Fifth, when the President withholds his assent to the state bills, the reasons must be communicated to the state government. Sixth, the National Development Council or NDC should be renamed as the National Economic and Development Council or NEDC. Seventh, the zonal councils should be constituted and reactivated to promote the spirit of federalism in India. Eighth, the centre should have powers to deploy its armed forces, even without the consent of states. Ninth, the centre should consult the states before making a law on the subject of concurrent list. 10th, the procedure of consulting the Chief Minister in the appointment of the Governor should be included in the Constitution of India. The central government has implemented 180 out of 247 recommendations of the Sarkaria Commission and with the establishment of the Interstate Council in 1990. Punchhi Commission is the third commission on center-state relations, constituted by government on 2007, under the chairmanship of Madan Mohan Punchhi, former Chief Justice of India. This commission set up to review the polity and economy of India. Since the Sarkaria Commission of 1983, the commission was to examine and review the working of the existing arrangements between the Union and states as per the Constitution of India. The commission submitted its report to the government in April 2010. In this regard, the commission taken help from the Sarkaria Commission report, the National Commission to Review the Working of the Constitution report and the Second Administrative Reforms Commission report. After examining the related aspects, the Commission came to the conclusion that cooperative federalism will be the key for sustaining India's unity, integrity and socio-economic development in future. Finally, the Commission made over 310 recommendations with 7 volumes to the Government of India. The major suggestions are: first is to facilitate effective implementation of the laws on List 3 subjects. It is necessary that some broad agreement is reached between the Union and states before introducing legislation in Parliament on matters in the concurrent list. Second is the period of 6 months prescribed in Article 201 for state legislature to act when the bill is returned by the President can be made applicable for the President also to decide on assenting or withholding assent to a state bill reserved for consideration of the President. Third, governors should be given a fixed tenure of 5 years and their removal should not be at the sweet will of the government at the center. Fourth, in respect of bills passed by the Legislative Assembly of a state, the governor should take the decision within 6 months whether to grant assent or to reserve it for consideration of the President. Fifth, on the question of dismissal of a chief minister, the governor should invariably insist on the chief minister proving his majority on the floor of the House, for which he should prescribe a time limit. Sixth, new All India services in sectors like health, education, engineering and judiciary should be created. The Punchhi Commission has given a detailed report with wonderful recommendations for the flawless working and cooperation between the center and the state. It prescribed in 7 volumes and explores important matters pertaining to center-state relations as well as finance, national security, planning and decentralization, socio-economic policies for better development and good governance. This is all about the committees and commissions appointed by the Union government and many state governments to review the center-state relations from time to time. That's all for today, Atangu.